Good afternoon, world. Welcome to another episode of the East Rand Podcast Files. Thank you very much for joining us. And today on the show, we have a trailblazer by the name of Busisiwe Nhlapo, who is an author, a public speaker, and was chosen as one of the top 100 South African ambassadors in the education category. And she joins us on the show to share her journey and future endeavors with us. Sis Busi, good afternoon, and thank you very much for taking time to join us on the East Rand Podcast Files. How are you feeling?
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
I am excited.
You're excited?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
How was it?
It was cool. It was amazing. I love it. I feel fulfilled. I feel at peace and at ease.
Are you a church person?
I am, yes.
Oh, okay. No, that's what's up. Now, before we get to talk about what you do, here on the East Rand Podcast Files, we like to so that our viewers can understand or get a better understanding of who you are. So who is Busisiwe Nhlapo and where are you from, my sister?
Right. Busisiwe Nhlapo is a speaker, an author and everything, all of those. But before that, I come from Guatemala. So I was born and raised like Guatemala. I matriculated at Blackburn High. And I've always been this shy kid, this girl who's just laid back, and I never really thought that I'd be out there and doing all the things that I do now. So I just thought no. So I've always been a bookworm, reading and everything, which is why I performed well in school.
Okay.
I think it's because I was just focused on my books and I didn't want any other thing to do with being out there and being seen and everything. I did, but I was not so outspoken.
Is it?
Yeah.
So maybe or maybe at home did they maybe tell you that you know what, you need to look at your books and stop playing with other kids?
Really. I think I've just been naturally shy. So it was actually a comfort zone.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
It was actually a comfort zone to say, okay, I'm safe here in this cocoon, so to say. Yeah.
And where in Guatemala are you from?
I'm from Vergenoeg, Guatemala. Yeah.
Vergenoeg.
Yes.
Now, what were your aspirations as a young girl?
I've always wanted to become a chartered accountant since I was young. I just loved numbers. I was analytical and I would question everything, every piece of information. So, which is why I've always wanted to be a chartered accountant. And still today, I still do. I'm working towards that.
You're working towards that. Oh, because I was about to say that you still have a chance. You can work towards that. Yes. Now, when did you become an author, and what influenced you to become one?
Right. So after I graduated with my degree, it was in 2018.
Okay.
I then became a brand ambassador of a tutoring company by the name of Progino Tutors. So there I had the...
How did you get to become a brand ambassador?
Because I had actually just graduated with an accounting science degree.
Okay.
And the company itself, Progino Tutors, was a commerce tutoring company.
Okay.
So they were focusing on commerce students, so the ones who do maths and accounting.
Okay.
So because of that and my profile, the fact that I did well in high school in accounting and also I just got my degree, then they saw it fit that I become a brand ambassador.
Wow.
So that from time to time I just come through and inspire the kids, tell them more about my journey and everything, and also the field of commerce as a whole. And also inspire them to just share my experience and everything. So that's how I became.
Well, we're going to get into that because I think it's very important, And but we're going to get into that, into further details about that. I just want to focus on you being an author or Wamanje. What books or columns have you written before as an author?
Right. I've written an ebook by the name of the Mark Tracking Model.
What's the name again?
Mark Tracking Model.
Mark Tracking Model.
Yes.
What does that mean?
So it is a graphical model that I've developed to help a student to manage their academic performance. So it's a graph that a student would use, then they would plot in their marks and everything and how they are performing in different tasks. Then they would use that, when interpreting that, they would then be able to seek ways to improve their performance.
Wow.
So I wrote it because there were so many students. While I was a brand ambassador, so many students would come up to me and say, I'm not performing so well. How do I reach the marks that I want to reach? And I'd always tell them that at least get a 60% for each of your modules or your subjects in high school level. But then going forward, I realized that there has to be something that I have to develop and make a blueprint so that every student, no matter where they are, they would then be able to manage their performance in school, then be ready for tertiary.
Now, if they're gonna reach out to you saying that they need help with their marks, is it with any subject, or is it just particular subjects only, or could it be maths, science, English? Which subjects do you specialize in, for lack of a better word?
Okay, so personally, I specialize in commerce, so any commerce-related
it's
subjects.
Just commerce-related.
Okay. But then the model itself can be used to track and manage and seek to improve all of the performance as a whole. So theoretically, all of the marks that you would have for all subjects, you would be able to manage them, because I don't deal with specific content in the subject.
Okay.
So I deal with the academic performance aspect.
All right.
So it's more of philosophical.
All right. Okay.
Yes. So
All right.
to actually identify what type of a student are you, and are these marks the marks that you're actually supposed to be getting, or
yes.
can you improve? So I deal with that. So it's just general, and every learner can then improve from that.
Now, what's the age group of the kids that you deal with? Are we talking young kids here, or are we talking like the youth? Age group yabantu dila ngayo kakhulu.
Yes. So
which one?
The age group, generally it would start from late primary school. So around grade 6, grade 7.
Grade 6, grade 7, okay.
And then going forward until the end of undergraduate.
Okay.
Yes, so from late primary school until the end of undergraduate. So for as long as you still want to further your studies and you need to qualify for you to further your studies, you're still within that market.
Wow. Now, are you passionate about dealing with kids though? Do you have enough patience yokubegezela so that you can help them with some of the things that they deal with? Because why I'm asking this is that quite often I find that sometimes it's very disheartening when you find a nurse or a teacher or any government official, dealing with the people, but banganabo ukubekezelela labo bantu labo. So with you, that's why I'm asking the age group, like, are you passionate enough so that you can be are you passionate enough rather so that you can be patient for them, so that they can get to grips with what they are learning?
Yes, I'm very much passionate about it, and I love mostly to just have sessions with them, especially one-on-one, having to talk to them with everything pertaining to life, because I think their performance in school is a result of certain impacts that happen. So situation essentially can have impact performance and so I'd love to have sessions with them. So I think it was last week I had a session with a young girl who was transitioning from grade 7 to grade 8. So she was having a bit of emotional issues in terms of transitioning into high school. So being passionate, I then had a session with her and we spoke about that transition and the whole emotional aspect of moving from childhood to puberty. So it was not really me being philosophical and saying, okay, here's a model, use it. You have to improve in everything.
Also about passionate about
passionate, yes.
So that you can relate to them.
Yes.
And get to understand them. But another question that I have for you, Sis Busi, is what kind of mentality are you instilling in their minds? Because I tell you what, in South Africa, I feel like our education system, sometimes I feel that it has failed, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, education is important. With education, you can reach new horizons. You can, become a better person, employed. But sometimes I feel they instill the mentality, we need to be best employees instead of being, our own bosses. Do you get what I'm saying? What kind of mentality are you instilling in them? So that, do you instill the mentality yokuthi bakhule babe ama boss in their own, or so that they can grow up and draft CVs and send them out? Because looking at the situation right now, you can see ukuthi indaba yama-CV ayisasebenzeli. So I want to get from you the sense, I want to get the sense that you instill in these kids in their mentality.
Yeah.
If my question makes sense to you.
Yes, it does make sense. So I think the philosophy that I always instill in them is this, that you need to know your why. Why are you even going to school? Why are you choosing the career path you are choosing?
But as a kid, bayangitshela ngisho ukuthi ngiye esikolweni. I don't think they can give you a reason ukuthi why I esikolweni.
Yes,
Mama uthi
yes.
ngivuke ngiye esikolweni. And mina ngifuna ukuhlala ngibukela amapopayi.
Yeah.
You know.
Then I think then it would have to be a question of what future do you want to create for yourself? What do you want to? Where do you want to see yourself in the few years to come? And then that would then inform the fact that you do go to school. And I must say that in late primary school as well as mid-high school, they don't really understand why they're going to school. So they're going to school just to avoid the trouble of having to deal with parents. But I think from grade 10 onwards is then that they have a reason why are they going to school. With education, it is a form of acquiring information. And information has this thing of liberating everyone and capacitating a person to be able to solve problems. I think that's the problem, because people think when you have a degree, then you have to be employed. But in my case, I've never been employed as yet. But I have two. It's the third year now. I have my accounting and science degree, and the lessons that I've learned from the inside and outside of class are the reason why I'm able to solve problems today. So it's not necessarily that because I have the paper, what did you acquire? What skills, what lessons did you learn? What information do you have? And then how can you solve problems now with the information that you have? I think that's it, problem solving, and not necessarily going and seeking employment. I think seeking employment can be one of the avenues, but it's not the only avenue.
You mentioned something very important about the early foundation. Can we just please go back there? Yini, according to you, obona ukuthi kumele ilungiswe laphayana ku-early foundation so that kids can grow up with a different mentality? Hayi le mentality sonke abasikhulisa ngayo.
Yes, I think I just watched a YouTube video, and one of the lady who was talking there, it was a TED talk. So she said nobody would listen, a kid would not listen to somebody who's not their hero, who doesn't inspire them. I think teachers, they teach what they're supposed to teach, but they don't really inspire the kids. It's only a few of them who inspire the kids. So that's one problem. Another one, because of the quality and the form of education at basic level, the thing is, we don't really have as much resources as possible, as much resources as we actually should have, which is why wonke umntwana makangena ku grade 1, they teach them the very same thing, and they assume ukuthi bonke bayafana. So each kid needs individual attention.
True.
So that they would grasp the literacy, the foundations and the basics of literacy. I think that is what is lacking in our system. Each kid needs individual attention so that they would grasp what education really is.
Wow, I think you've answered it very well. Now let's go back, with what you were talking about earlier on, you being an ambassador. I mean, being a top 100 out of so many people in the country, you are one of the special ones, eh? You are definitely a trailblazer. Ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi, how were you chosen? You did explain earlier on, but I didn't get the feel of it. How did you become part of the top 100 South African ambassadors?
So I work with Brainiac's youth agency. So it's a youth agency. It's based in Northwest.
When was that? Unyaka mekunini lapho?
It was 2020.
Last year?
Yes.
Okay.
So the founder there proposed that, no, I think do send through your proposal and your brief profile and what you do within the education space. Then you would be considered for that. And then I did send through all of the things that I do, just briefly, and then there was then a selection. So part of what I do within the education space is that I provide content in terms of career guidance, career advice. And then I also share my knowledge on productivity, self-development, and everything. So I share what is needed over and above class time.
Okay.
So the teachers do their job. They teach, some people teaching maths and everything. But then I come in and say, okay, you do study, but how is your studying making sure that you do get the marks that you're supposed to get?
Okay, that's where you come in.
Yes, that's something more. That's something more. That is what I offer then to the learners, so that even though they study with purpose. They study knowing where they're going. They study with an intention in mind.
I think that's very important. Studying with intention. Wazi ukuthi ufundelani. Ungafundi ukuthi just uqeda grade 12.
Yes.
So that my parents can be off my back, so that they can buy me this thing and can I just pass my grade 12? But you've mentioned it, studying with intention, and I think that's very important. Now, what are you currently busy with now?
So currently I'm doing my honors in accounting science. Because
you don't stop, eh?
because the aim is to qualify as a chartered accountant.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm doing that, the honors in accounting science. And then I'm also a part of a few other businesses, and then also education.
Education.
Yes.
Now, the schools, I forgot to ask you something. The schools, lezo dilanazo, is it Ikolozala Lokshini, or is it the schools around the country?
So it's mainly through social media that I share the content, right?
Okay.
And then also in schools I do a lot of inspirational speaking. Every now and again I do inspirational speaking in schools. But my passion is in esikoleni saselokishini, because I myself, I know what it is to be in a private school, I know what it is to be in a township school, and I know what it is to be in a Model C school, a government school in town. And I can tell you that the motivation in a township school is almost not there at all.
It's not even lacking, it's not there.
So, which is why my passion lies there, that I go out there and speak to those learners, and as far as possible offer mentorship as well as guidance wherever I can.
How do you speak to these learners, Mark? Do you speak to them assembly or class to class? How do you speak to them? Because I understand it's COVID now, but
Yeah.
I want to get a sense.
Yeah.
Especially about like Lokshin, because I'm very concerned about the Logish as well. We live here, we know the conditions.
Yes.
And it always hits me now, I wish something can happen. I wish these kids can have a different mentality, so that they can, pursue their dreams, etc. So I want to get a sense of
So because it's COVID now, then they would only give me class lama grade 12. So they'd only say, so they'd only say, okay, speak to the matrics. Maybe they'd gather them together in a hall, and then we speak to them. But I think my passion would be to speak to each and every one of them. Yes, which is why I think I'm working towards blueprinting all of the things that I know and everything, so that it becomes a form of a short course or a seminar of some sort, so that someone else out there who has the same passion can be able to then go also in my absence and be able to share the knowledge and everything with the learners.
Wow, that's what's up. Now, can we expect a book from you in the near future? Maybe you deserve to write a book. Someone like you, man.
Yes. In October 2021, I'm releasing a book.
This year?
This year, yes.
How boozy.
2021. So I had an ebook, the mark tracking model.
Yes.
But now I'm releasing an expansion of that model.
Okay.
But now it's combined, and it's an academic excellence blueprint.
Okay.
So everything that I know in terms of how to excel in your studies, the little habits that you should have for you to excel in your academics. So I was studying how high achievers make it, how top performers get the marks that they get. And I realized that it has nothing to do with their genius. It's the little habits that they have.
What are those habits? Can you share with us?
Yes. So I think first of all they are concerned about their health. The fact that you have to be hydrated and drink water so that your brain works optimally. The fact that you need to have enough sleep, and that you need to exercise, and all of those things are important. If you can look at high achievers anyway, they're most probably playing a sport or two. apart from their academics. So that's one of the habits that they have. And also, they don't stress themselves so much with academics and want to do everything in just one single day. They understand that academics is a marathon. So they put in an hour every day or 2 hours or so, and they are just consistent with their work. And also, high performers don't really need motivation, so to say. They are self-motivated because they are disciplined. So in the absence of motivation, discipline prevails, and it actually causes you to be able to do everything that you ought to do and succeed.
But what if I get what you're saying, and I fully agree with you. And what if maybe mina ekaya I'm not motivated? I want to get a sense from you, Guti, what would you say to the parents? How important are they? Because if my parents, if I look up to my parents, and maybe they were fighting or bang tetisa or something just happened, obviously mangs ufike classini zofika demotivated. What would you say to parents? Because most of the time parents don't even pay attention to us as kids. Mabathetisana or mabakhuluma ezinye izinto. And ezinye izinto just affect us as kids.
Yes.
And here you are saying that I need to be self-motivated. Can you talk to the parents? What would you say to the parents? Especially when I look.
I think to the parents, abantwana, they need time. A parent needs to have time with the child so that they know whether they are well or not. And it's so sad because a kid would be depressed and a parent would not know.
Absolutely.
A kid would go for months being depressed, not sleeping at night, crying.
Yes.
But the parents would not know because all they just want to do is ensure that the kid does their homework, they do their chores, and then they give them money wherever they can. And then that's it.
The plate like microwave, that's it.
That's it. So you need to have, as a parent, you need to have a relationship with your child and know them and give them that individual attention. And I think it's very important, and it has much value to be validated by your parents.
Absolutely.
To tell your child that you are worth it, you are enough, you can do that. That is very important. You need to validate umntanakho so that akwazi ukuthi makaphumelela le ngaphandle angatholi motivation from the wrong crowd and the wrong people. Angafuni to be heard and to be seen, because some people, the things that they do on the outside, they want attention. They actually want to be heard and to be seen because they don't have that attention from home. So a child needs individual attention, and a child needs to be validated. Ukuthi you are enough, you are capable, you can do this.
How do you get to unwind and relax when you're not busy?
When I'm not busy, I'm tempted to say reading. That's my comfort zone. That's my comfort zone. I like reading novels during holidays and when I'm not busy. But then also, I love to listen to music. I'm a very musical person. So
what type of music do you listen to?
All genres. I think I have this ear to can tell that, okay, this one is a hit song, so I love it.
Do you listen to hip-hop?
Hip-hop, yes, I do.
Who do you listen to in hip-hop?
Casper.
Okay.
And J. Cole. Is J. Cole hip-hop?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, yes.
There's a J. Cole fan that side.
Yes, I do listen to music and everything, and yes, so I'm very much chilled, and I love also socializing with people.
Yes.
And also in music, I do play a couple of musical instruments, so I think that's how I'm.
Tell us about that. Tell us about that.
Yeah,
Which
I just
instruments
learned
can you play?
the basics of piano. The basics of acoustic guitar as well as drums. I think drums, my skill is a bit.
I can play drums too. I used to play drums as well.
Oh yes.
Yes.
I love it. It's exciting. It's therapeutic.
Yes.
Yes.
And the books you're reading, if it's not academic, what type of books are you reading?
So because I want to become a chartered accountant, I know that
focus on
at some point in life I'd be a business leader. So I do read a lot of autobiographies of business leaders, and I also read self-help here and there. I'm very much fascinated by the art or the science of habits, and also the science of productivity, and the likes, the work ethic of a person. Yes, I'm very much fascinated by that. But other than that, it's just self-help, business, and then quite a few non-fiction here and there.
Do you have friends?
I do have friends, yes,
Okay.
and I'm always socializing with them.
All right, that's what's up. Now, what would be your message of encouragement to young people watching, especially young girls who may want to follow their inner voice but by yourself?
I think nobody is coming to save you. I think that's one thing is for sure. Nobody is coming to save you. No one is going to come and post handouts again, what's all in the post box. So you have to go out there and make it happen. Nobody is coming to say, okay, I've written everything that you need to do. Step one, you have to do like this and that and that. You have to go out there, do it yourself. You have to go out there and kick those doors open, literally, because you deserve the opportunities. You deserve all that has to come your way. So you need to be proactive and go out there and make it happen. And it all starts with a positive mindset.
Once again, positive mindset. We have real food. And can you describe yourself in 3 words?
3 words.
In 3 words, just describe yourself.
I'd say assertive. Assertive. A trailblazer as well as a go-getter.
Oh yes, definitely a trailblazer. Yeah. What would be your, if I would give you 30 seconds now to talk to kids and parents, what would be your message?
I think I'd say the world is full of so many opportunities, and we need to be able to know the best fit for yourself. So you need to be able to go out there and make it happen. So each and every one is confronted with a series of opportunities. It takes you to grab them and seize them and make them your own, so that you will be able to be the best version of yourself.
Wow. Busi, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you so much for having me.
And may you continue shining your light to the world.
Thank you.
And hopefully in the near future we'll have you on the show again to talk to you.
Yes.
You're very inspirational, I must say.
Thank you. Thank
Wow.
you.
Wow. Very inspired. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, another trailblazer from the East doing the most for the world, man. Doing the most for the world. And from myself and the rest of the team, it's a big thank you for watching. And we'll see you on the next episode here on the East Rand Podcast Files. Goodbye.